first day of arrival, how cool will it be when you walk in and you get there and God greets you, and then like in my case or in your case, he says to you, well done. Well done. I mean, that gives me goosebumps. Because when you think about it, we're out there and so many of us think that we'll go out and do a bunch of good deeds. But I meet plenty of people who are doing good deeds, but they're not living it. Just like what I told you earlier. I was doing a bunch of good stuff. Heck, I was an altar boy. I was doing good things. I was always in church. But I wasn't living it. In my heart, I didn't have that personal relationship. And now, when you look at your life right now and say, well, what is it that I need to do? Get that personal relationship. Start with your own heart. Start with you. And then when you speak it, when you profess it, when you confess it, when you say it, you get what this is all about. He'll accept you unconditionally. That's what, I mean, it's so amazing. He knows everything. I mean, you talk about the whole omnipresent thing, but what I'm talking about here is Jesus has taken it to another level. Or excuse me, James has taken it to another level. Because we are made in the image of our Father. When you think about that, we are made in the image of our Father, who is filled with love, mercy, compassion. So, must we be? Now we must act on it. And I don't know how you all feel about it. I'm not here to have a conversation with you about the Florida Gators or the Denver Broncos. But in the last year, would you say, Aaron, probably the last year that we've been really engaged in this, probably even since the beginning of the NFL season, we've seen it on Facebook, we've seen it in conversations on ESPN, we've seen it in the mainstream media, we've seen it among family, friends, and people in different churches. I've seen it, I speak, in men's groups all over and in churches, and I keep seeing this and hearing it, the Tim Tebow thing. And I had people even recently tell me, Tim Tebow's overrated, or he's a bad example for Christians, and I hear a lot of this chatter. I want you to understand that I was never a Florida Gator fan, and I'm not even a Denver Bronco fan, but I'm a Tim Tebow fan. Because what this young man does is he lives it on and off the field. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And we need more living examples of that. I had someone last week tell me, yeah, but I wouldn't want that pressure. You know what? The bad thing about Tim Tebow and what he does and how in your face he is about it, I'm like, okay. And they said, he's going to fall. And when he falls, others are going to fall. And then they're going to say, there's another Christian. Like, yeah. And when? I'm not even saying if. When he falls, because he's human. When that man falls, you watch how he handles it. God's already taken care of him and has been taking care of him. I mean, do you realize he plays the game and lives his life with that childlike innocence and faith? He brings a new kid every single week to a game. And this could be a kid who's dying, or a kid who just wanted to meet him, or a kid who has accepted Christ when his parents are atheist or Muslim or whatever the story is. And he brings them to the game, and he spends time with these kids. And he loves them unconditionally. And unfortunately, some of these kids aren't even with us right now as I speak to you. But they got the opportunity to meet Tim Tebow. And this wasn't even through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This was through Tim Tebow, his foundation, the hospitals, the missionary work that the guy does. I want you to get this. He's not just the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. He's one of the quarterbacks of God's team. Okay? Get that. He's one of the quarterbacks for God's team. He's taken action on his conviction. I'll ask you all a question. You don't have to answer it. Just think about it. What position do you play on God's team? What role do you play? What role do you want to play? What is your role in this life? What is your purpose? Your passion? What is your plan? And if you don't know it, why not? Then you need to get into the Word. You need to start surrounding yourself with people who can help you with that. Whether it's mentors, or people who've been through the things that you are going through or have been through, or people who want and have the things that you want. Going back to Tim, when I say the action, when I say what is your role, the action, the living it, as I said earlier, is key. Because get this. In James 2:19, it says, you believe that there is one God? Good. Even the demons believe that and shudder. So what I want you to understand is living it is key because even the demons believe. And Satan's greatest trick, Satan's greatest deceit that he's ever been able to pull over on us humans was convincing us or getting us to believe that he doesn't exist.
Right, say that.
Satan does exist, everyone, and he's right now. And people here in the Bible Belt, people say this is the Bible Belt when we moved here 3 years ago, this is the belt buckle, yet I've had the privilege to travel over the world. For some of you, whether you're younger or older and have never really even left this area or you've had limited travels, I can tell you, I've traveled all over the world. Nashville, as great as Middle Tennessee is, there's some of the same stuff going on here. You got all some of the same, if not worse, problems in other parts of the country. And what I bring it back to is, just like when my wife and I have been in places where people go, you're going in there? More power to you. That's criminal. You're going into Compton High School? That's all the future drug dealers, murderers, and rapists. There's a reason why there's barbed wire around the school. There's reasons why there's cops and metal detectors there 24/7. And you're going in there? Keith, did you check your skin color? You don't belong in that school. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, they're the future drug dealers, rapists, and murderers. And I go, you know what? You think that? And that's what they're going to become. I'm going to look at them as the future leaders, entrepreneurs, and success stories. And I'm going to go in there and love them unconditionally. And I'm not going to discriminate against them. And it's amazing to watch when someone shows that unconditional love, those random acts of kindness, those moments of kindness, and you do